Shabbat Shalom. Once again, this is the day that the Most High has made, his Sabbath that he set apart, that we may rest. For he said he made the world in 6 days, and on the seventh he rested, and we shall also rest. So we are his witnesses, which in Hebrew means an aid, an ayin dalet. I was speaking to my wife earlier when we showed up. An ayin is the eye and a dalet is the door. So a witness is someone who sees the door. So every time we walk in here on the Shabbat, we see the door because we are his witnesses and we believe what he has said. So we enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. And we bless the King by saying, Barku et Yahweh. Barku et Yahweh HaMevorach. Baruch atah Yahweh HaMevorach le'olam vayed. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bekar benu makol hamayim wenatan lanu ha'torah. Baruch atah Yahweh notan ha'torah. That is to say, blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh, the blessed one. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the blessed one for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us your Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the Torah, to the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Israel, our King, provider, healer, sustainer, deliverer, our Savior. We thank you this morning, Master, and we ask you, and we beg you, O King, to forgive us of our sins, cleanse us of unrighteousness, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. And not only would you forgive our sins, Master, but that you would forgive the sins of our ancestors who sinned against you because they wanted to be like the other nations. So you punished us, O King, by sending us, and you scattered us amongst those nations. But you said, I shall not fully destroy you, but I shall bring some of you back. And we believe thy report, O King. We believe thy report that you said that if we turn back to you, that you would turn back to us. And you said that what great nation has laws like you have given us, Master, that if we obey them, Master, that you shall hear our cries, you shall hear our prayers. So we ask that you would hear us call on you today, that you would turn out a deaf ear to our cries, Master, but that you would hear our supplications, O King. Even in this exile, Master, you said that I will give you a little sanctuary that you may come together and that you may worship and praise me. And we thank you for that today, O King. So hear our prayers, O King, that the words of our mouths and the meditation of all of our hearts assembled here today be acceptable in thy sight. You know us individually, Master. You know us collectively. We ask that you would continue to bless us, that you would have mercy upon us, O King, and that you would continue to provide for us life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that you would continue to let us grow into you, for we believe thy report. And we listen to thy voice only, for man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of thy mouth. And you said in your word that no man can die for your sins, but every man shall die for his own sin. And you said that you shall come back and you shall get us, that if we were scattered to the far ends of the earth, or to the far ends of the heaven, or to the depths of the sea, that you would raise us up, Master, that you would come and find us. So we ask that you would not forget us, O King, that you would Zakar, remember us, O King, and that our feeble attempt to keep thy laws and understand thy word and draw closer to you. Master, continue to keep our children. We thank you that you have kept them all week long as they have traversed throughout this land, and you have brought them home to us safely. Thank you for all that you have provided for us, O King. We pray for the sick that are assembled with us online today, that you would continue to bless them, lift them up, strengthen their bodies, Master, strengthen their constitution and their minds, O King, that they may assemble with us physically once again. And we ask that you would keep looking after their families also, O King. We thank you, Master, for our leadership in this assembly, that you would continue to grow them in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, Master, that we may feed the masses, Master, that we may, because we do have a heart for our people, O King, even though they are still in idolatry and they're still serving the gods of the nations where you have sent us, which you said we would do. You said we would, O King. But we are asking, Master, that we have a heart for our people and that you would give us the wisdom and understanding that we may reach them, that they will come to know you better, that they would understand thy word, O King. And Master, we just ask that you will continue to feed us here at First Tabernacle Fellowship and keep us until we can meet here again. This is our prayer.
Shalom to everybody today. Join me, if you would, in reading from Psalms, the Helium, chapter 132. Let us begin. Yahweh, remember in David's favor all the hardship he endured, how he soared to Yahweh and bowed to the mighty one of Yaakov. I will not enter the house where I live or get into my bed. I will not allow myself to sleep or even close my eyes until I find a place for Yahweh, a dwelling for the mighty one of Yaakov. We heard about Ephrat. We found it in the fields of Ya'ar. Let's go into the dwelling and prostrate ourselves at his footstool. Go up, Yahweh, to your resting place, you and the ark through which you give strength. May your Kohanim be clothed with righteousness. May those loyal to you shout for joy. For the sake of your servant David, don't turn away the face of your anointed one. Yahweh swore an oath to David, an oath that he will not break. One of his sons from your own body I will set on your throne. If your sons keep my covenant and my instructions, which I will teach them, then their descendants too forever will sit on your throne. For Yahweh has chosen Zion. He has wanted it as his home. This is my resting place forever. I will live here because I so much want to. I bless it with plenty of meat. I will give its poor their fill of food. Its Kohanim I will clothe with salvation, and its faithfulness will shout for joy. I will make a king sprout there from David's line, and prepare a lamp for my anointed one. His enemies I will clothe with shame, but on him there will be a shining crown. Amen. You may be seated. Oh, it is so good. So good. I understand the writer's words when he says, "Oh, taste and see that Yah is good." He has blessed us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And we lack no good thing. Our house may not be full, but then again, it overflows with the knowledge and the understanding of the Most High. And we know for a certain, that the Spirit of the Most High has joined with us today, because this is the day that He has made, that we should come together and worship and fellowship and congregate. This is the Sabbath unto Yahweh that we keep righteously every Shabbat. I don't know about you, but I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, cause your mornings to awake with the thoughts of how great Yahweh is and His faithfulness to His people. He has kept us in health and strength and caused our minds to be solid and sound. And there's nothing that can turn us away from His divine words. So with that being said, I'm still concerned about my people. I guess I'm going to carry that with me until my days have ended. I am going to do and take upon my person to do all I can to be able to reach those that are reachable, to be able to share with those that have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying to the congregation. I am currently, I don't know if I'm in the middle of where I'm at, but I'm somewhere in accumulating and writing the third book, which is called What About My People? And as I was working on it yesterday evening, my mind stumbled across one of the most atrocious things that the Greeks and the Romans did in transliterating. If they were taking the Hebrew text and translating it, and after you translate it, you transliterate it. The transliteration is the English or the language that the nations can understand. And as I've read the Masoretic text from its Hebraicness, there is nowhere in the Masoretic text where the Most High speaks of Himself in the term God. It's nowhere. When He speaks of Himself in text, He uses the Yod He Vav He, or if we're looking at Exodus, Shemot chapter 3, verses 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, and he gets down to the point where they say the God of Abraham, the God of Yaakov, and the God of Yitzchak, it doesn't read that way in the Masoretic text. It reads the Elohe of Abraham, the Elohe of Yaakov, the Elohe of Yitzchak. No G-O-D. So by doing this in their writing of what they call the Bible, which comes from the Greek word biblica, they have led the people astray to meet their agenda, which is to formulate in the minds of the people that from the beginning, God or the Lord are all one person embodied in Jesus Christ. The sad part about it is that I run across people who brag about having acumen. I have acumen. And I look at them and I say, but you still don't know anything. Because if you're studying correctly from a right source, you wouldn't have a misunderstanding of what the source is talking about, and you wouldn't be confused. But once again, I yield the floor to the Moray because I understand that we're trying to do something for a mass of people that we cannot do. And that's open their blinded eyes. And we forget sometimes that the Most High said about his people, I have given them a blind stupor. So since they have this blind stupor, we have a difficult time getting them out of where they are. The Moray, Sean, D, Appleton.
All right. It is good to be here on this Shabbat. What do we say? What did we say? Want for one more again? Just to tell it like it T.I. is. Oh, I thank the beneficent, the Most High Yahweh, for allowing us to be here to observe the mitzvot of the Shabbat. What does that mean for you? That means that you are to what? Convocate. Shabbat does not mean if you are able-bodied and you are able to convocate. You need to convocate. I didn't say convocate at FTF. I said convocate. Wherever that is. Sitting at home is not the answer. Part of the mitzvot is to rest and to convocate. Okay? So, for those of you that are here, and for those that are outside these four walls convocating, I say Shabbat Shalom, and I thank the Most High for allowing us to be here today. To the dignitaries that are here in the room, to the Moray, Trey Beverly, to the Moray, Gerald Beacom, to Bruh Charles, Shabbat Shalom to all of you. To the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr., the head of this
house here. Shabbat shalom to you, sir. Wow, that was a pause. I was hoping you guys were getting ready. Okay, he's getting ready to go to this next part, which is for everybody that's online. Shabbat shalom to you, to the descendants that are here and that are not here with us today. Shabbat shalom to all of you. Hopefully you will be able to hear these recordings and be able to stand on the shoulders of giants and see further as you get closer to the Most High in exile. Now, I am pleased and elated to know that almost half the people were in here standing, anticipating what we're getting ready to do. In Vayikra, chapter number what? 19, verse 32. It says what? You are to stand in the presence of those who have what? Gray hair, right? We give honor and respect to those who are wise with the gray hair. So turn to the person. Now, again, every single week, we got to do this. He said, okay. Turn to the person that's closest to you with gray hair. Look them in the eye and tell them, Shabbat Shalom. Excellent. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Yes, sir. They could. Yeah. The question was, does if somebody comes in the room with gray hair, do people just stand up? Stand up. Hey, stand up means stand up. Every 10 minutes, yeah, if you're in the DMV, or you said if I'm in the DMV. But check this out. I'm glad that you brought that up. Who is that only applicable to? That's only applicable to Hebrew Israel. Okay, just because. Now, I want you to understand something. That every time these mitzvot come up and people want to challenge you on this, the first thing that should be coming out of your mouth is, are you Hebrew Israel? No. Then I do not have to stand for you. Okay? I don't know what you believe. You may be believing in witches and warlocks and Donald Trumps and, no, I'm just kidding. So we stand in the sight of those who have gray hair. Now, to our studio audience that are here, we are always going to go subterranean and we're going to go to the stratosphere. So I don't even have to ask. So, to the studio audience here that's with us today, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Today, hopefully it's not going to be too long today, we are going to complete Devarim. Brother Charles in the front said, oh boy, you always say that and you end up 4 hours later. We are going to complete chapters 33 and 34, which completes Devarim. Okay? We would have completed the whole entire book of Devarim. Now, moving forward, we're going to tackle another book right after this. We're going to go straight to Shemot. All right? Now, at the beginning of Shemot, what does Shemot mean? In Hebrew, what does Shemot mean? The names. Absolutely, the names. What? The names of who? Of those going down into Mitzrayim. Right? Those names of those people. We're going to tackle that. Why? Because there's nothing but mitzvot all through Shemot. All right? Famous. Y'all should know this. Where are the famous 10 Commandments? In the book of Shemot. Okay? Exodus. So it goes something like this. They go and they meet the Most High. The Most High gives them a handshake, and the Most High is breathing fire and brimstone at them, and they get all scared. And then Moshe tells, or at least they tell Moshe, you go up there and talk to him. That's at the end of the first 10 utterances. The first 10 things that the Most High said to the Hebrew people. They said, nope, we want to have a liaison go and talk to you. We can't handle it. So, once that gets established, if you continue to read on, you'll have the continuation of the mitzvot. That's where they first get rolled out. So we're going to continue with that idea. But we're going to go as they go down into Mitzrayim. We're going to see the Genesis of Moshe when we get there, okay? So that's what we're going to tackle next. All right, now, let's go over this again. Repetition, 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 okay? Devarim in Hebrew stands for what? What does Devarim in Hebrew mean? Okay, so if you have what? The words, right. What words? The words that Moshe spoke to Israel before they what? Went into the land. That's what the book of Devarim is about. All right? Repetition. First 12 chapters are going to be about Moshe remembering everything from Mount Horeb all the way through the wilderness, Bad Midbar, that book, and then getting to where they are right now. Okay? First 12 chapters. 13 through 26 are just what? Mitzvot. The continuation of these mitzvot. Some that you've already heard already, and Moshe's adding to them. Okay? Completing the culmination of all the mitzvot. Right after 26, what's 27 and 28 about? About the blessings and the curses. Right? That's 27 and 28. And then 29 and 30. 29 and 30. I kid about Amore about this one. Come on, I always do it when I get there. 29 and 30. 29 and 30 is Moshe's closing. He closes for 2 chapters. His closing arguments to Hebrew Israel, right? 29 and 30. 31 and 32. Can anybody remember what's in 31 and 32? Yes. Yahshua gets ordained or coordinated in front of Hebrew Israel. Then you have the Levites, the Kohanim, getting their instructions. What's in 32? 32 is the song. It's your anthem. That's what's in 32. The national anthem of Hebrew Israel. The song that they are supposed to remember when they get into the land. 33 and 34. 33 is going to be the blessing of all of the tribes individually. So each tribe is going to get their blessing from Moshe. 34 I have a little bit of a problem with right off the bat. Because 34, this is the issue that I have. It's authorship on, matter of fact, who actually wrote it. Because in 34, Moshe dies. Moshe cannot be writing about his own death. Okay, if he's already dead. Okay? So I got a little bit of an issue that's happening in 34 on its authorship. I almost want to say that 34 needs to be actually chapter number 1 of Yahshua. Okay, I'd believe that more of Yahshua writing that than Moshe. But it's included in Devarim. And again, how these books are broken up is done by the Catholic Church. All right? All of the books, Hebrew writings don't go chapter, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. It's one long scroll. It's not broken out that way. And you got your verses in there so you can jump from place to place easy. That's a system that was set up by the Catholic Church. Okay? It's a good system because it helps us get through it real quick. Okay? But at any rate, that's what Devarim, that's what we're going to end up doing, 33 and 34. Okay? Now, I gave you a homework assignment. What was your homework assignment? Now I know you didn't do it. Now I know you didn't do it. Or y'all all got on one accord and said, shh, don't nobody say anything. What was your homework assignment? To read 33. And I wanted your Hebrew radar on when you read 33. Nah, I can't let you off the hook. Okay. 33. Let's go through it together, all right? 33 is going to be all of the blessings to each individual tribe. And in reading 33, I want your Hebrew radar to be up. There's a pattern that's going to get established here. I want to see if you see something here, all right? 33. And it reads, "This is the blessing that Moshe, the man of El, spoke over the people of Israel before his death." All right, here we go. Eye Asher Eye came from Sinai. From Seir, he dawned on his people, shone forth from Mount Panorama, and with him were myriads of set-apart ones. At his right hand was a fiery law for them. He truly loves the peoples. All his set-apart ones are in your hand, sitting at your feet. They receive your instruction. The Torah Moshe commanded us as an inheritance for the community of Yaakov. Then a king arose in Yeshurun when the leaders of the people were gathered, all the tribes of Israel together. Let Reuven live and not die out, even though his numbers grow few. Of Yehudah, he said, "Hear, Eye Asher Eye, the cry of Yehudah. Bring him in to his people. Let his own hands defend him, but you help him against his enemies." Of Levi, he said, do you see who I'm emphasizing? I'm emphasizing these names, okay? "Let your Tumiim and Urim be with your pious ones, whom you tested at Massa." So, everybody know what a Tumiim and a Urim is? Yeah, there are these stones. You can find it. Let's go there real quick. You can go there in Shemot, chapter number 28, verses 29 through 30. So he's talking about the tribe of Levi. He said, "Let your Tumiim and Urim be with your pious ones, whom you tested at Massah." At Shemot, chapter number 28, verses 29 through 30 reads, "Aharon will carry the names of the sons of Yisrael on the breastplate for judging over his heart. And, when he enters the set-apart place as a continual reminder before Eye Asher Eye, you are to put the what? The Urim and the Tumiim in the breastplate for judging. They will be over Aharon's heart when he goes into the presence of Eye Asher Eye. Thus, Aharon will always have a means of making decisions for the people of Israel over his heart when he is in the presence of Eye Asher Eye." So there are pieces used for judging, okay? And rightly placed when we go back over to Devarim chapter number 33, verse number 8, where we left off, where it says, "Of Levi, he said, let your Tumiim and Urim," who's that go along with? Every has to go with the tribe of Levi that we just read in Shemot chapter number 28. It said, "Let it be with your pious ones, whom you tested at the Massah." It says, "With whom you struggled at Meribah spring." Now we're going to, anybody know what happened at Meribah spring? This is where Moshe doesn't get the ability to leave and go into the land. Something happens there. The Most High spoke to Moshe, and he says, because they were complaining about water, he says, "Speak to the rock, and the rock will bring forth water." But Moshe hit the rock. And so, therefore, because you didn't do what I asked you to do, which is what it boils down to. Now, it goes a little bit deeper than that, but I'm for the sake of time, let me move forward. Where do we leave off? 9? Okay. It says, of his father and mother, he said, I don't know them. He didn't acknowledge his brothers or children, for he observed your word, and he kept your covenant. They will teach Yaakov your rulings. You see that? So who's supposed to be teaching? Levi, the tribe of Levi. They will teach Yaakov your rulings. Israel, your Torah. Okay, so if anybody challenges you on who the Torah teachers are, they're primarily going to be the people from the house of Levi. Okay? It says, they will set incense before you and whole burnt offerings at your altar. Eya asher eye, bless his possessions, accept the work he does, but crush his enemies' hip and thigh. May those who hate him rise no more. Verse 12. To Benjamin, he said, Eya asher eye, beloved, lives securely. He protects him day after day. He lives between his shoulders. Of Yosef, he said, may Eya asher eye bless his land with his best from the sky, for the dew and for what comes from the depths beneath, with the best of what the sun makes grow, with the best of what comes up each month, with the best from the mountains of old, with the best from the eternal hills, with the best from the earth and all that fills it, and the favor of him who lived in the burning bush. May blessings come on the head of Yosef, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. May his firstborn bull, glory is his. His horns are those of a wild ox. With them he will gore the people, all of them, to the ends of the earth. These are the myriads of Ephraim. These are the thousands of Manasseh. Of Zebulun, he said, rejoice, Zebulun, as you go forth, and you, Issachar. In your tents they will summon peoples to the mountains and offer righteous sacrifices, for they will draw from the abundance of seas and from the hidden treasures of the sands. Of Gad, he said, blessed is he who makes Yah, or makes Yah. I saw G-O-D and said Yah. Woo! Sean. Blessed is he who makes Gad so large. He lives like a lion. Lies like a lion. Lies there like a lion. Tearing arm and scalp, he chose the best for himself. When the princely portion was assigned, when the leaders of the people came, he carried out Asher's justice and his rulings concerning Israel. Of Dan, he said, Dan is a lion cub, leaping forth from Bashan. Of Naphtali, he said, you, Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full of blessing, from taking possession of the sea and the south. Of Asher, he said, may Asher be most blessed of sons. May he be the favorite among his brothers and bathe his feet in oil. May your bolts be of iron and bronze, and your strength last as long as you live. Yeshurun, there is no one like El, riding through the heavens to help you, riding on the clouds in his majesty. The El of old is a dwelling place with everlasting arms beneath. He expelled the enemy before you, and he said, destroy. So Israel lives in security. The fountain of Yaakov is alone, in the land of grain and new wine, where the skies drip with dew. Happy are you, Israel. Who is like you? A people saved by Eya Asher Eye, your defender helping you, and your sword of triumph. Your enemies will cringe before you, but you will trample down their high places. The end of 33. What did you notice? What did you notice? Come on. Okay. They did name the brothers out of order. Leah bore 4 right out of the gate. So right in the order of how they came out. Yep. What else did you notice? So what was noticed was that the names on how this actually read was not in order of how the children were born, how they came out. That's one observation, great observation. Anything else? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, there we go. That's what I'm getting to right there. No. Come on, listen. So that's where I was going with this. If you're paying attention to all the names, we have to make sure that Hebrew Israel is clearly represented. If you read, let's go all the way back to the top. Okay? Verse 6. Let's count them. Let's see if we missed anybody. All right? We got, verse 6, we got Reuven. Right? That's one. First of all, how many tribes are in Hebrew Israel? Y'all bet not mess that up. Okay? There was 9. Huh? Was that? Well, if we count, Joseph has 2 inside him. He has what inside Joseph? Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay? But y'all bet not mess that. Oh. Hebrew Israel had 11 tribes. No. 12. Okay. So we're looking for the lucky number 12. So we've got in verse 6, 1, which is Reuven. Verse 7, we've got the second one, which who? Yehuda. Verse 8, we have what? Levi, what? That makes 3. All right. Where are we jumping down to next? We're going to get, verse 12. Benjamin. How many we got up to? 4. Okay. Verse 13 is Joseph. How many we got? 5. All right. 18. Who's that? Zuvulun. That's how many? 6. Keep going down. It says, rejoice, Zuvulun, as you go forth. And you, who? Yissachar. Okay. That's 8. Thought we was at 7. Okay. Verse 20, there's your 8. Gad. All right. Verse 22 is Dan. How many are we up to now? Okay, 9. Okay. Verse 23 is what? Naphtali. That's 10. Asher is in where? Verse 24. How many are we up to? We see Yeshurun. 1, 2, 3. That's the entire tribe. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, hold on. I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, there you go. Simeon's not in there. Why? All these, y'all, see, you know what? Y'all making this go real quick. That's part of it, yes. That's part of it, yes. That's one of the verses that I'm going to go to back this up, why he's not included in this. And there's another verse that's actually in Yahashua that's way more definitive than that as to why he's not included in here as we try to make this correlation. Let's go to that first one that the Moray in the back mentioned, which is in Bereshit, chapter number 49. That's going back to Genesis, chapter number 49, verses 5 through 7. Now, again, these are possible reasons as to why Simeon is not named in these blessings that Moshe is handing out here in chapter number 33. Okay? It says Simeon and Levi are what? What are they? They're brothers, related by weapons of violence. Let me not enter their counsel. Let my honor not be connected with their people. For in their anger, they killed men, and at their whim, they what? Maimed cattle. Cursed be their anger. for it has been fierce. Their fury, for it has been cruel. I will, here we go, I will divide them in Yaakov and scatter them in Israel. So, we've kind of got this decree here that says that Simeon is going to dissipate into Hebrew Israel. Here's another chapter and verse that actually supports that. It gets further along when we get into Yehoshua. We got to go to Yehoshua, chapter number 19, verse 1. Now, this is when all the land is getting handed out to the individual tribes, the territories. They're getting that handed out to them. It says, the second lot came out for Shimon, for the tribe of the descendants of Shimon, according to their families. Their inheritance was inside the inheritance of the descendants of Yehuda. So now what we've got is Simeon has become so small that they've been absorbed into Yehuda. Okay? So when we're talking about, I'm using these two texts to say, when we're talking about Yehuda, we're now talking about Simeon as well. Yes, sir. Levi doesn't have an inheritance. No. The children of Israel are supposed to support them because they don't have an inheritance in the land. Yes.
Yeah, but he's mentioned with the sons of the blessing. He's mentioning the blessing, but he has no inheritance in the land. But the Most High told
Turn the mic on. Go ahead. He said, I'm not come back here to mess with you. Come on.
I just said for consistency when he said that the inheritance of Simeon was going to be absorbed inside of Yehuda.
Yeah.
So their inheritance is the land. Mm-hmm. That's what he gave to Abraham, that his descendants would inherit the land.
Sure.
So even though he chose the tribe of Levi to be the Kohanim and the priests,
sure,
they also don't have an inheritance in the land, which is consistent with them being, which is consistent with the violence that they shed on the land that we just read in Bereshit.
Okay.
So neither do they have an inheritance in the land.
Sure.
That's all I was saying.
Okay. He said, keep it over there. Okay.
you ain't never
Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
That all you had 4 or 5 things else to say.
It made me think of when we were talking about Simeon and observing his character. It made me think of with Yosef.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct, Simeon was the one that Yosef had stayed with him while they had went back to the land. Am I correct to go get their brother?
Oh, yeah. When they first went down there, like Simeon was the one that stayed behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just noticed that when we were talking about Simeon and his character, I'm wondering, like, remember we talked about why Yosef.
Oh, particularly picked him to stay behind.
Go back and check it out, but I believe, Simeon was the one that stayed.
Yeah, you know what? When we get to that part, let's remember that. Okay, that's cool. So there was the Morah is making a correlation for those that are online to say, hey, Simeon was pulled aside when he went down to stay behind, and the brothers went back. He was kind of kept as collateral by Yosef. So it kind of talks about his character and him, Yeah, something to observe while we're going through this. But yeah, all great observations. But while we were reading for that, I always looking for all 12 tribes to be represented somehow. And so Simeon wasn't included here, so we had to look a little bit further to understand that he's gotten so small and he's been absorbed into Yehuda, according to when we get over into Yehoshua. Okay? All right. Now, I told you it's going to be quick today. They're going to be like, woo. And I'm glad because I actually want to see, as we progress further, I want to kind of open up the floor that if there any questions that you guys have, can be off topic. We try to get a Discord going so we can get them answered, okay? Off topic. Doesn't even have to be what we're talking about today, okay? If you got a question, just as a place where you should be able to come and get your questions answered, okay? We don't want to make a person feel as though, oh, were they talking about, the mitzvot, so I got to wait until umpteenth year in order for you to tackle the Shabbat or all that stuff. If you got a question, let's get your question answered, all right? So let's go through chapter number 34. This is where we're going to see the death of Moshe, and this is going to complete the book of Devarim. Now, is there any reflections from my mores on 34? 33. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Were you getting ready to say something? Yes. Yes, sir. Wait. Microphone, please. Yes, you have to. That's your prerequisite. You're going to ask your question, you got to have the microphone in your hand.
All right, I'm a freestyle for y'all. Just kidding. My question is, it's really more just train of thought, if you can correct me. We have 12 tribes, and at some point in time, Simeon was, like we just read, you said, dispersed into Yehuda.
Yes.
And you said Joseph had Ephraim and
and Manasseh. Yeah.
Okay. And that's how we have all 12 tribes. Okay. I just want to make sure that's correct, right?
So Yosef, and again, my mores are watching intently on how I answer this. So they're going to jump in even if, and I love it. Don't think that I'm gonna I want them to join in. We should all join in and try to answer the question. When we look at Yosef, let's deal with that first. I'm looking at Yosef, I'm looking at two. It's like a split that's there with Manasseh and Ephraim. So Yosef, to me, is considered one, all right? I will always count the 12 tribes as the original 12 tribes, even though there might be a split in Yosef, okay? So with that particular being said, even though Simeon, again, we're just saying it was absorbed into the territories of Yehuda. Not to say that that tribe doesn't exist. It's just saying that it's inside. They don't have enough so they could have their own. They're so small that they just assimilated into Yehuda. That's the way I'm looking at that.
Okay.
Is that sound?
The reason why I asked
Yes.
that is because I've been seeing people online posting that there are 13.
No.
And I've been trying to see why they've gotten there. And I think what I've seen is that they were talking about the split of, is that the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom?
No.
Okay.
So that split from the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom is a totally different issue. That's we got to compartmentalize and put that over there. When they're talking about 13, they're counting Ephraim and Manasseh as two individual separate tribes. And I'm saying that no, Ephraim and Manasseh are still from the tribe of Joseph in its original state. So there will always be 12. Okay. All right? Good. All right. That's what I like. You got a question? Ask your question. Right? Let's keep moving. Let's get through 34. And then we'll tackle any other questions before we close. We're going to be in here quick today. See? Told you I was going to get you out here quick. All right, 34. Moshe ascended from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the summit of Pisgah, across from Jericho. There, Yahweh showed him all the land of Gilead, as far as Dan, all Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, the land of Yehuda, all the way to the sea beyond, the Negev and the Arva, including the valley where Jericho, the city of date palms, as far away as Seor. Yahweh said to him, "This is the land concerning which I swore to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. I will give it to your descendants. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you will not cross over there." So Moshe, the servant of Yahweh, died there in the land of Moab, as Yahweh had said. He was buried in the valley across from Bet Peor in the land of Moab, but to this day, no one knows where his grave is. Moshe was how old? 120. When he died, with his eyes undimmed and vigor undiminished, the people of Israel mourned Moshe on the plains of Moab for how many days? 30 days. After this, the days of crying and mourning for Moshe ended. Yahshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom. Spirit of what? What is wisdom? Oh, okay. What? It's the what? Fear of Yah, and what else? The Torah. It said he was full of the spirit of wisdom. For Moshe had laid his hands on him, and the people of Israel heeded him and did what Yahweh had ordered Moshe. Since that time, there has not arisen in Israel a prophet like Moshe. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me read that again. Okay? Read that slow. Okay. Viva, help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Give me a miracle that Jesus did. Give me a miracle that JC did. Give me a miracle. He turned water into wine. Moshe turned the whole entire river into blood. Give me another one. Give me another one. Come on. Okay. Wait a minute. You said he had 2 fish and he fed a lot of people. That's a miracle. The Most High fed the children of Israel in the desert for 40 years. That was one day. I'm going to give you 40 years. Matter of fact, and was consistent every single day. The EBT didn't run out. Okay. Was consistent every single day. And on the 6th day, they had a double portion every single day for 40 years straight in the desert. Don't come at me with some fish and loaves. Give me another one. He led the blind to see. Okay. So he led the blind to see. Come on. The lame to walk. Okay, so he's healing people in their bodies. That's what he was doing. Oh, he said Lazarus to come forth. Elisha did that already. They said they had that one, the little boy had died. He placed himself over the little boy, and the boy came. That ain't nothing new, okay? He died and rose, so your God dies. Okay, mine doesn't. All right. The bleeding. Oh, he stopped the lady from bleeding. Wouldn't that make you unclean? Don't you got to drink blood? When did the Most High say drink blood? We don't drink blood as Hebrews. You got to have life. Exactly. How do you get life? Oh, the Torah of the Most High. Okay. What else?
I was going to say, and the Most High said that he's a God of the living, not the God of the dead. So if Jesus died, then that ain't his God.
I guess so. I guess it ain't. I mean, come on. I mean, if you want to talk about the caliber of stuff that the Most High has done, this dude was supposed to get a nation of people together in 3 years in his ministry, and he couldn't do that. Okay? He couldn't pull that together. All the things that the Most High has done, he's delivered your people from the house of bondage. Wait a minute, y'all missed, did y'all hear what hold on. The Most High delivered your people from slavery. JC didn't do that in 3 years. Okay? The Most High has given the commandments. JC only quotes them. Matter of fact, I tell people I do the same thing that JC does. What did JC say? He came over and said, I can only do the things that the Father tells me to do. What does the Father tell you to do? Obey and follow the commandments. So I'm only doing the same thing he's doing. I can only do the things that my Father tells me to do, which is what? Obey. Okay? Yeah, and the more rain in the back said, until I get ready to change what the Father said and get to do them up my own. Let's go back. Where did we leave off? I got off on a tangent for no. I'm sorry. For all of the things that those folk across the street say that are miracles, you can go back over into our text and find something that the Most High has done even more magnanimous than what they believe that is. You're talking about somebody calming the sea. The Most High made the water. Okay? I mean, I don't know if you're talking about putting a Toyota Corolla up against a Phantom. I don't. Everybody in the day of the week is going to take the Phantom. All right? Phantom is a Rolls Royce, by the way. Yes, ma'am. He said, thank you. It's a double R. The Most High divided. The Most High made everything that's here. You, me, sun, stars, all that stuff. Y'all act like this stuff across the street is something that's just, oh, no. If you just read the text of what we, okay. I'm going to tell you what. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just got to let this last pot shot in there. I don't know if I could get, listen, let me ask. Can I just appeal to the ladies real quick? You got a man. And y'all walking down the street. And your man can't protect you. And he get his butt whooped. How you going to look at him? She said, I ain't going to help him. You going to help? He getting his butt whooped. Look at all the women here like, this dude. See, look, I'm confused. I'm confused. What is you doing? Exactly. It was like, what did y'all young people say? That would give me the ick. What's that? Right. Yes, sir.
If she's a Hebrew woman and her man is getting whooped, she is going to respond like a Hebrew woman.
Yeah, she's going to respond like a Hebrew woman.
And if she responds like a Hebrew woman, the text says she is going to grab the one who's whooping up on her husband. She is going to grab his testicles.
Well, you ain't Hebrew,
That's
so.
text. That's text.
She said it's text.
That's in text. I mean, I can say what's in text. That's in text.
Yeah.
And she may not grab him.
She right.
She may do the alternative thing.
She gonna jump in and do it. I've been waiting to do this for forever. Yeah. So everybody that's watching at home that don't know what we're talking about, see, that's the inside stuff that Hebrew Israel knows about. So you'd have to know about that mitzvot that we're talking about in order to make what the Moray back there said work. Why it's so humorous. Yes, sir. That's correct. Correct. You can't enter the temple. Right, but again, what did we say earlier when we were talking about mitzvot? That is for Hebrew Israel. And you ain't Hebrew Israel. I can do that. I can do that. You're not Hebrew Israel. Now, if you was Hebrew Israel, that'd be a different story. But since you're not, okay? Remember, listen. Do you guys realize that the 10 Commandments is not for Christians? What? Y'all didn't realize? The 10 Commandments are not for Christians. Wait a minute. Y'all don't believe me? Wait a minute. Y'all don't believe anybody that wants to. The next thing that should come out of your mouth is, I believe in the 10 Commandments. Oh, you're Hebrew Israel. No, what do you mean? I'm not Hebrew Israel. How can you believe in the 10 Commandments and you're not Hebrew Israel? You don't believe me? He already there. Shemot, chapter number 20. It says, then Yah said, with 20 and 1. Let's just start at the top. This is Shemot, chapter number 20. This is Exodus. Exodus, chapter number 20, starting at the top. This is the infamous 10, what they call the 10 Commandments, but it's the 10 utterances. It's the first 10 things that the Most High says to Hebrew Israel before they don't want to talk to him directly anymore. That's the significance. Go, there you go. Let's read them together. All right? We mitzvot heavy in here, right? We said, then who? Who? El. Eya Asher Eye said all these words. Who? Eya Asher Eye, Yahweh, El Shaddai. Okay. I am Yahweh, your El. Who brought, wait a minute. I am JC, your El. No, it says Yahweh, your El, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the abode of slavery. Who was brought out of the abode of slavery in Egypt? Israel. He's not the Yah of anyone else. You would have to accept that right there and say that, okay, I'm Hebrew Israel, so these apply to me. If you're not Hebrew Israel, it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't get out of the first verse here without establishing who we are talking to. Let's address who I'm talking to. I'm talking to my children and them only. Then it says, you are to have no other gods before me. Is that clear, Hebrew Israel? That does not include Dionysus, Horus, JC, anybody else. Okay? It says you are to have no other Els before me. You are not to make for yourselves a carved image of any kind, of the representation of anything in the Hashemayim above, or on the earth beneath, or in the water below the shoreline. You are not to bow down to them or serve them. For I am Yahweh, your El, and I am a jealous El, punishing the children for the sins of their parents to the third and fourth generations, those who hate me, but displaying grace to the thousandth generation of those who love me and do what? Obey my mitzvot. You are not to use lightly the name of Yahweh, because Yahweh will not leave unpunished someone who uses his name lightly. Then you get into the Shabbat. These are all things specific to us. That's all I'm saying here. Okay? All right. So hopefully that answers your question in a long, roundabout way. And then the hands keep, no, you good? Okay, yeah, let me open it up to the end. Let me just finish this last couple of stanzas and we're done. Let's go all the way back to Devarim, chapter number 34, and let's go back to verse number 9 and we'll end it. All right. Verse 9. Chapter number 34, Devarim, Deuteronomy. Where it says, Yehoshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moshe had laid his hands on him, and the people of Israel heeded him and did what Yahweh had ordered Moshe. Since that time, there has not arisen in Israel a prophet like Moshe, whom Yahweh knew face to face. What signs and wonders Yahweh sent him to perform in the land of Mitzrayim upon Pharaoh, all his servants, and all his land. What might was in his hand? What great terror he invoked before the eyes of Israel. Which ends the reading in Devarim chapter number 34, which subsequently ends the reading in Devarim, period. That's the end of the book there. Yahushua is a book that comes right after this that will pick up Hebrew Israel moving forward. And that's where we see with the second splitting of the waters as they cross the Jordan to get in, and all the things that they have to do with the circumcision and everything else that has to happen before they get into the land. So that is the end of those books in Devarim. So I want to open up the floor right now for any questions that we might have coming out of the book of Devarim. Let's deal with that first. If there's anything that you can remember over our talks that we talked about that need clarification. Okay. None there. All right. Any questions? Period. Let's just open up the floor. I probably want to start with the one from the chat.
Test. One in the chat asked, are we required to shower the day before the Shabbat in order to be clean for Shabbat?
Yes. And I don't think that there's any mitzvot that talks about not being able to shower on the Shabbat either. So showering on the Shabbat is okay too. Yes.
I believe when the scriptures talk about being ritually clean, that it says that you're supposed to shower the day before the Shabbat, before the sun goes down. Then when the sun goes down on the sixth day that night, if you shower before the sun goes down, when the sun goes down, then you have become ritually clean. See, so if you're unclean and you shower on the Shabbat, you're not ritually clean until the sun goes down. So in order to be ritually clean on the Sabbath, you have to shower on Friday evening before the sun sets.
Okay, so before you go on, explain ritually. Because there's a difference between clean and ritually clean. So define what you mean by ritually clean.
Yes, in order to enter into the temple and do a service unto the Most High.
There you go.
So
there you go.
we are in exile.
Correct.
So the Most High said that he would give us a small temple to worship him in exile, but we cannot become totally ritually clean in exile because we are perpetually in sin, being in exile, where we can't observe all of the mitzvot and do the sacrifices that are required for us to become clean. So we have a perpetual sin upon our head because we can't keep all of the mitzvot the Most High has given us, and we don't have a Kohanim, we don't have a king, and we don't have a temple.
So, yes. So the difference again here is ritually clean being to do the work inside the temple and doing whatever has to happen there versus being clean, washing yourself. Okay? So there's a difference between.
Which is the reason why the Most High has given us grace. Grace. And I'm going to go to Romans. I got to go across the street in Romans because I got to pick up Paul. Paul says, shall we continue in lawlessness, or shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound? Yahweh forbid. The Most High has given to Hebrew Israel grace. Jesus Christ did not come with grace and truth. Grace has always been in place with the Most High and Hebrew Israel. because the mitzvot do not go away. Not one jot, not one tittle shall pass. However, being in exile without a temple, without a Kohanim, without a living king, the Most High knew that we were not going to be able to keep all of his mitzvot as he had given us to them. Case in point, Exodus, Shemot chapter 31, you shall not treat my Sabbath as common. Anyone who treats my Sabbath as common shall be put to death. We cannot put anybody to death in this exile. Therefore, the Most High has extended grace to us. What's grace? I'm going to excuse you from this. That's what it is. So there's a lot of things that in this exile we can't do. So when we're looking at these mitzvot that the Most High has given us, and they have language in them that pertain to something that has to do with the temple, there is no temple that we can perform them in. So he's
Correct.
given us grace. So you can't subscribe something and make it palatable or make it forceful to carry out if there's no temple.
Correct.
So if we're talking about ritualistically clean, we don't have a temple.
Correct. Correct. 100%. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Get in the microphone. All right.
I'm still unclear. I was just wondering if that is it a mitzvah that you have to shower the day before the mitzvah, before the Shabbat, or the day of the Shabbat? Is that like a mitzvah?
Okay, so going back to what was said, it's the comment is
Not
for
that I'm dirty
something
or
that's ritually clean. We don't have a temple in exile. So, yes, there is a mitzvah that applies to that, but it's for something specific that we don't have. Okay, so therefore, since we don't have it, anything, if someone wants to do that, it's practicing it. Okay, that's all it is at the end of the day. You can shower every single day. No problem at all. Okay, I don't think the Most High, but we're talking about something specific, and any time the text does talk about that, I mean, cleaning yourself like after a particular, you're unclean until evening, so you have to shower your whole entire body. There's several mitzvahs that deal with several different types of things, but again, that's for, you're unclean at that particular time, and if you're doing work that's inside the temple, then yes, you need to go ahead to answer your question, to come back to square one. Yes, you got to do it the day before.
The practical and logical approach to the whole issue is something that you do anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need a mitzvah to tell you to go shower your nasty body. You don't need a mitzvah to tell you, I'm getting ready to go out amongst people and congregate with people, and I need to be clean.
Right.
I need to smell good. You don't need a mitzvah to do that. So come on. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm trying to deal with this issue of taking a shower before the sun goes down on Friday evening. And plus the fact, think about it. You sleep all night, and in some instances you sweat. Sometimes your body gets warm and it gets hot and you sweat. Come on, people.
Yeah, the formula here is just making sure that you're reading the mitzvah in its complete context, from top to bottom, from what is the intent of the mitzvah and what is its end result, what is it for. I'm washing because of what? Or I'm cleaning because of whatever. I know we want to read stuff face value, but look at the whole entire context of what's being written, okay? And that'll give you a better clue to help you. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Right here. Peace. Yep.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Being that the day of preparation is not for us to make sure that we have our shower before the sun go down, because common sense tell us to be clean when we go anywhere. What is the day of preparation actually for? And what are we actually supposed to be doing? What are we preparing for? And I know we're preparing for the Shabbat, but how are we actually supposed to prepare for the Shabbat here in Exile?
Okay.
Because we know what we're supposed to do if we were in our right place.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to tackle it? Anybody want to answer it? I'm opening it up to the floor. Before the Morays jump in. Go ahead. You want to give it to the Moray?
You got it?
Okay, so we'll start off with one. Go ahead. Preparing food. Okay. Making sure your food is prepared. All right. We're not doing any work. All right. Okay. So we know that we can't be doing anything that sets us up that we're doing for any kind of work for the next day, right? All right. Day on preparation. I'm not working on the Shabbat. So whatever I got to get done, I got to get it done. So I'm not doing it on the Shabbat. Okay. I can prepare my food on the day of preparation. I try to make sure that my house is clean on my day of preparation. I try to make sure that, everything that is set and is in proper place. So when the Shabbat actually shows up, I'm not doing any of that stuff except resting and focusing on the Most High. So whatever you decide that your day of preparation is, it includes what you would normally do on the Shabbat, you're not going to do. You're going to rest. So anything that's going to impede that, include that in your list of stuff that you're doing on your daily day of preparation. Okay? It's whatever is going to impede you from focusing on the Most High entirely in a rested state all day. Okay? All right. So hopefully that's a global, because I don't know everybody's situation. Okay? I don't know what you got going on at home. But it has to be something personal for you, the Shabbat, and what you're going to not do. So when Shabbat gets here, you're doing the least as possible. Okay? You still got to congregate. Still got to wash your behind. Still got to come and do the things that are necessary. But not an impedance.
Moray.
Okay. Yes, sir.
If there is something that you personally are convicted about not doing, that's your conviction. But if that conviction does not line up with what the Torah has said that we are to do, then don't bring that conviction and put it on me. That's your conviction.
Sure.
And that's your position that you have with the Most High.
Yep. It's a personal thing.
And that's fine. But then don't tell me that your conviction is based upon a scriptorial or a mitzvot fact. Because now what I'm doing is I'm adding to the intent of the mitzvot. And I'm changing the intent of the mitzvot because I think that I need to strengthen it with my conviction, which is what Shaul talks about, the legalism of Torah.
When you're doing stuff to protect
when you do something to try to protect it and add to it.
Right.
How can the Most High say to you, I'm giving you something that's simple, that even a what?
Child.
Can understand. Then if a child can understand it, why is it so difficult for grown folks to understand something that's so simple that they have to convolute it and add to it to give it value and strength? The child understands it.
Sure.
That's what text says.
True. But,
So can I just clarify one thing, and I want to clarify one thing after Moray said that. When I said I don't answer text, I mean like business stuff.
business, okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to add on to what the Moray say. Yes, like common sense, we should clean ourselves. And also when it's in, far as scripturally wise, yes, if you are unclean by a violation of the mitzvos, you need to wash yourself if the mitzvos tell you that, to clean yourself so you can be clean to come into the Most High's dwelling. But I don't, far as a text that plainly points to individuals having to wash and cleanse themselves, I really only see that in Exodus chapter 30, and we can start at verse 17. If someone can pull that up. Exodus. Okay, so Yahweh said to Moshe, you are to make a basin of bronze with a base on bronze for washing. Place it between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. And then it says, Aharon and his sons will wash their hands and feet there when they enter the tent of meeting. So the Most High is telling him and his sons to wash their hands and feet when they're entering the tent of meeting. They are to wash with water so that they won't die. And so, you can go on and finish reading it. Let's keep reading it. What does it say?
But
Also,
while you're doing that, also understand, in context, we're talking about Aharon's sons doing something specific in the tabernacle.
in the tent of meetings.
In the tent of meetings.
Yes.
So we have to apply as we're, but go ahead.
Yeah, and
that's in the land for the Levi.
Yeah, and so, I'll just finish it. Also, when they approach the altar to minister by burning an offering for Yah, they are to wash their hands and feet so that they won't die. This is to be a perpetual law for them through all their generations. So again, this is specifically to Aharon and his sons, dealing with going in the tent of meeting. And this, as far as I can see with text, one of the only places that are requiring you to wash yourself. And besides this, it's somewhere that if you did a mitzvah that requires you to wash yourself, like intercourse and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I give you another one. They're all over text. I mean, you got one for Yom Kippur. You got it when he has to put on all of his linens and whatnot, he has to wash himself. Before the guy that has Aziel, he comes back in, he has to wash himself before he comes back into the camp.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of places where you have to bathe that are attached to particular mitzvos. So hopefully that answers the person's question, because we went roundabout, and that's good. Y'all okay? We good? Okay. All right. Any other questions that we got? Okay. We good. We good. All right. All right. I want to make sure that we get, like I said, our questions answered. If there are issues that are there we need to address, let's address them and just talk about it and reason together, okay? All right. When I come back to you next week, we good. All right. I will. I want to make sure that we'll be starting the book of Shemot. Shemot is a very famous book. And just talk about it and reason together. Shemot. We're gonna go straight to Shemot, which is the book of Exodus. When I come back to you, Exodus next week is the names of the individuals that go down into Mitzrayim. We're going to see the inception of Joseph. We're going to see the inception of the nation of Hebrew Israel. We're going to see all that. Moshe is a character that gets birthed in the book of Exodus. So, again, Moshe being the name that his Egyptian mother gave him. Okay? All right. With that being said, if we don't have any questions, stand to your feet. I guess we'll get out of here. Moshe being the name that trying to stretch it out now. I feel like Egyptian mother gave him. Almost 40 minutes early. All right. All right, let me bless you. If we don't have any questions, as you go ahead and observe the rest of this day of rest. Yivarekaka Yahweh v'yishma reka Yair Yahweh panav eleka v'chuneka Yisa Yahweh panav eleka v'yasam laka shalom, which simply means in English. It means may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his face. May Yahweh lift up his face towards all of you and give you shalom. West Coast Hebrews, until next time.